A very good afternoon and welcome once again to Watson Road Tunnel here from Blackpool Pleasure Beach from Saturday the 1st of November 2025. We're now finally into the final month of operation here at the park, being November, with the last day of this season being on the 29th of this month. So just about 4 or 5 weeks time the season will be done and dusted, but we've still got plenty of time to check up on all the latest construction and changes happening around the park. Starting here as always with Aviktas, looking in at the site where even more developments have changed since the last week of updates. Of course, the first time we mentioned that the 4 foundation pads were preparing to be poured and concreted, and we had the first 2 pads on the closer side here all completed, with the final 2 on the far side awaiting that. Then last time we showed that the final 2 pads on the far side had been concreted and completely finished, and it was more the central base area awaiting the concrete. And well, now you can see here in the 3rd week all that area now has been concreted and is all now complete for when the ride arrives on site. When the ride will arrive, I do not know. There's rumours suggesting presumably this month, but I'm not entirely sure. But if there is, that does presumably bode well, because there is actually a fan club event starting this month on the final day of operation on the 29th of November. I will put a screenshot on the screen of what it is, but it's basically an Aviktas fan club event, presumably that you will actually enter the site here and have a closer look at the concrete, and if, say, the ride does show up on site, presumably have a look at the ride parts or something like that. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. From the wording of the email, it just mainly looks like it's just an Aviktas site, and it says you get to have a chance to look at the park in the dark. But surely if you're in the park between the hours 11 and 5, you will anyway, because obviously the fireworks will be in the dark. So yeah, I don't think the wording's been the best for that email. But yeah, it mainly just sort of copies itself in saying that you're having a look at Aviktas and stuff like that. It is a very windy day here in Blackpool today, so I'm not entirely sure how bad the noise of the wind you'll hear at times. The big one is testing. It hasn't opened yet of the day, because I think the wind has been struggling it, but it is currently testing, as you can clearly see there. It is going around with nobody in. Presumably it's on one train today, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, they are trying to get it open, but they are battling the wind because it is directly west today on the day of filming. So yeah, back to Aviktas though. You clearly see, as I say, all the concrete foundations are now complete as well. I'm not entirely sure what this black bit of piping is sticking out. There is one here, and there's one over at the far corner at that top left foundation pad. Maybe they're sort of like electricity poles, or going to be like drainage poles, not entirely sure. But yeah, there is 2 black sort of piping things sticking out of the ground as well there. We'll just sort of go over to the left hand side a bit, try and get a different angle of the site. But from looking at it from the 1st of November, Aviktas looks pretty much all done with the concrete foundations. So just a little bit there of a pan on over to the left hand side, having a quick look at the concrete that has all been completed. Of course, not really that much of a different angle compared to the one I was just filming at, but you do get a bit of an idea of how vast all the concrete is. As we let that noisy car go past, you do get a lot of idiots racing through the tunnel. As I say, you can see a lot of the completed foundations all there for the Aviktas site. And when you're out up on Big One, you can actually see they have done quite a bit of drainage as well. They have put like a drainage pipe all down the centre as well. Presumably that's where you're going to be getting on and off the ride. So yeah, not an awful lot to talk about with Aviktas this week, just more than the completed foundations. All 4 pads, and now the concrete base where you'll get on and off the ride. So yeah, we're heading inside the park now for the 1st of November. To have a look at the opening times, because it's pretty bizarre today, the opening times, and have a look at Journey to Hell on its final day as well. So I'm now here just at the main entrance of the Pleasure Beach, and yeah, I said in the tunnel that the opening hours today are a bit bizarre, so I'll put a screenshot on your screen now from where you pre-book if you're an annual pass holder, and it does say the park opens at 11 and closes at 5, and it also is the same on the actual main website. If you're buying a day ticket, it does say closing at 5 o'clock, but as we pan around look at the board, it says 11 AM until 6 PM, But then when we get inside the park, looking at the different ride times, some close at 4:30, some 5, some 6 and some 7. I mean, it's all over the place today. The website's saying one thing, the entrance is saying another thing, and then the rides in the park are saying another thing as well. So yeah, not entirely sure what the hell's happened here today from the Pleasure Beach. But yeah, it says the park shuts at 6, but then the rides, some of them are saying 7, but of course we know some of them rides could be Journey to Hell. So I'm not entirely sure what the hell's happening today with opening hours. But yeah, 11 till 6, even on the website, and where you pre-book for annual pass holders, it's saying 5 o'clock, which is a bit weird. 7 o'clock, even though the website says 5, rides shutting at 6, the park entrance says 6, but the Grand National, a ride that is on Journey to Hell tonight, is saying 7 PM closing, which is a bit weird because normally they'd have to clear the park of normal guests and then obviously then let in the Journey to Hell guests. But yeah, a bit bizarre how it's shutting at 7 o'clock. Maybe they're going to be trialling something tonight, because I think they did last night, which me and my partner did actually do. They let, if you wanted to stay in, they did let people stay in the park right through until 10 o'clock. Of course, experiencing all the rides in the North Park, this being one of them. And obviously not go in the maze, because obviously you wouldn't have had a Journey to Hell ticket. If you just had a normal day ticket, you could stay in the park for free and experience the rides in the dark in the North Park only. So yeah, we did it for about 2 hours, didn't stay till 10, we stayed till about 9 or so, and then left. But because the rides do get pretty empty compared to all of the Harrow mazes. But yeah, a bit weird how it does say 11 till 7, but they could be trialling the same test that they did last night again tonight. So the flying machines here is on the same script as Grand National, being a 7 o'clock close, which is at least 2 rides on the 7 o'clock close this evening. But we do have the likes of Launchpad over there. I don't think the camera's picking it up. Weirdly, that one's saying 6 o'clock, even though that's on the Halloween event tonight. But yeah, Grand National and Flying Machines both say 7 PM this evening. I think the Derby Racer over there, can't really see it from this angle because it's kind of just behind that cloth. Oh, yep, there you go. The Derby Racer as well is saying 7 o'clock over there as well. So yeah, the rides in North Park, apart from the Ghost Train and Alice in Wonderland, and for some reason Launchpad at the minute, are saying 6 o'clock. But yeah, Derby Racer 7, Flying Machine 7, Grand National 7. Of course, Valhalla, it's not on the event for Journey to Hell, but today it is opening at 2 o'clock. And it's closing at 6 o'clock today, even though the website and the app still says 5 o'clock close. As I say, it's all over the place today. I don't know what's been happening with the app, who decided to extend it by 2-3 hours, stuff like that. But yeah, it's all over the place today, opening hours. I'm not complaining though, because it means you get an extra hour in the park, and also we get to stay effectively till 10 o'clock tonight for Journey to Hell. So yeah, win-win all around today. I think communication here at the park today hasn't been the greatest, because the app's saying one thing, but the actual ride sign is saying another thing. So I'm here at the taxi spin ride, and it's saying 4 o'clock close, even though on the app it is saying 4:30 close. So either they haven't got a 4:30 sign, or it generally is closing at 4. I mean, the communication, I don't know what's been happening with it today. But I say you've got some shutting at 4, 4:30, then you've got 5, and you've got 6, and you've got 7, and then obviously for Journey to Hell, then you've got 10. I mean, opening hours are there all over the place, yet the website still says 5 o'clock, so what are you meant to believe? I mean, the rides are saying one thing, the website's saying another thing, the app's saying another thing. I mean, everywhere I look today, it's different opening hours and different closing times. I mean, I don't know what to go to, because as I say, this is saying 4, yet the website on the app is saying 4:30. I mean, who knows what the hell is happening today with closing times? Is it going to close at all? We don't know. Is the closing times actually correct? Or we're going to be here till like, 10 o'clock tonight, whatever, midnight, whatever. Who knows?
you scream, I feel yeah. Oops, too late. It's ready, yeah.
Hello, my little squealers. Welcome back. Remember me? No? Well, let me remind you. I'm Klaus, master of Journey to Hell. Come with me to a place where dreams twist into nightmares. Through the rabbit hole you will fall into a wonderland drenched in madness. Tell me, which will be taken first, your head or your sanity? If you survive the fall, you shall stumble into my cabinet of curiosities. With freaks too vile for the light of day. A place where demons are born from hunger. The shadows feast on the living. You are not the first to enter, but will you be the last to leave? Now the gates of hell are wide open, but nothing can prepare you for the terrors that await. So, my little squealers, commence your journey to hell, if you dare.
So I'm actually filming the ending here now at 10:15 at night, because me and the other half did do Journey to Hell this evening, and well, it was actually a pretty good event, to be fair. We got once on obviously all the scare mazes, including Alice in Wonderland and the Ghost Train, once on them as well, and of course limited times on all the other attractions as well, like Launch Pad, Flying Machines, Derby Racer and Grand National. Yeah, I'll probably do maybe a separate video talking about it, but it was a pretty good event. But the main update today, looking at the Aviktas completion site with all the concrete that has now been poured and finished off in that area, with the 4 foundation pads, and of course the central base area is all now complete from what we saw over in the Watson Road tunnel. And of course it's been a bizarre day for opening hours on the park. You've seen throughout the whole update how some rides were 4, some were 5, some were 6, some were 7. But then the app was saying different things as well. So yeah, pretty bizarre opening hours Safe Pleasure Beach. Don't really know why it was. Maybe because it was the last day of Journey to Hell, so potentially trialling something like I mentioned earlier on in the video. But yeah, not entirely sure why they did that today at the park. Maybe next year they'll maybe open up a few more rides during Journey to Hell and let more people sort of explore the park, stuff like that. But yeah, as for the actual park update, not a lot to talk about, which I do apologise for. Mainly just looking at Aviktas. It was the main highlight, as per usual, as we're getting ever closer to potentially the structure going up. So yeah, if you enjoyed these Pleasure Beach updates, of course, hit the thumbs up button, comment as well, and of course hit subscribe. Don't miss out whenever I do any more Pleasure Beach updates, and I do still have a few more Orlando videos to come as well. So I'll see you all again in the next update here from Blackpool Pleasure Beach.